time.
Okay.
Handy dandy little line phone tells me that it's 6 o'clock. It's time for us to call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum with Board Member Ira and Mr. Governor and myself, Mr. Gleason. So we have a quorum and the meeting is called to order. Let's have a benediction. Our Father, we meet tonight with heavy hearts, remembering the loss of a friend, Gerard Jimenez, who served our community in many different ways. We ask that you be with him and be with his family, give them their strength, your comfort, and your love. We also ask that you guide us in doing things the right way, your way, to benefit our community. Be with us and guide us in the decisions we make and lead us to your care. In Christ's name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Oh, I'm sorry.
How are you, sir?
Other part of this. Oh, the pledge, I forgot. I did too. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
honor
Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay.
There's several
Is Chase here?
George is going to make some copies.
The first thing on the agenda this evening is on the consent agenda. It's going back and. Oh, I'm sorry. Are there any citizens that have comments? Okay. I didn't see any citizens today that were on connected with this thing. Okay. The first thing is on the consent agenda is the approval and discussion and approval of several meetings, the minutes from several meetings. And you have them in front of you. And we'll go through them one at a time here.
Here, Mr. President, I think y'all can review them and you can take
Action on all of them.
take action on all of them when voted. I apologize to the board. That is, the minutes were always something that I just wasn't getting done every month, but from here on out, we're going to do each month's, the preceding month's minutes like we're supposed to. I apologize on that.
Do I have a motion to accept these minutes as a total group? I do have one correction. The meeting that Mr. Tejada ran, I was not here, and it says I opened the meeting.
I don't think so, sir.
It's in the meeting called to order.
That was accepted.
Here, this one. There's, yeah, it says meeting called to order.
Oh, okay. Make a line through that on the
Okay.
original. But I mean, down lower it says.
All right, I know it does. I just didn't want that to be, someone said I opened the meeting when I wasn't here.
Okay.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept these minutes as they're presented? And I'll give you some time to. Also note in the minutes for this meeting that Mr. Tejada came in about 6:03.
Sir.
approve as presented with that minor correction on that meeting with Mr. Gleason not being present.
Second. Second. Motion by Capano, second by Roy. We accept those minutes with the one correction. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yep. Pass.
Would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Maybe tear off yours and sign them. I need you to sign them, and I need Mr. Dada to sign those as well.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and get that done.
We can do it by the end of the meeting, just, you can work on it through.
Okay. I'd rather do it one time, because I won't pay attention to what's going on.
Chess is coming. Is in his room.
Some of your concerns will fall under A, and some will fall under D. But A, line enough to discuss it.
Okay. If you'll pass this down to Mr. Capano.
Commissioner?
Okay.
Would you pass that?
If I've missed any, Dan, let me know. Okay. Item A, is brief by facility and events manager and discussion of possible action by board about monthly reports related to usage, rentals, tenants, and daily operations of the event center, and any changes or actions needed there too. And staff. You said Chess was coming?
Yes, there he
Okay.
is.
Okay. Chess, you're on.
Where are we at for reports?
Yeah, it's right there.
I'm sorry. One more, sir.
All right, so I've been working with Christina. We fixed what we wanted to do. I know we got Ms. Turner too. We all talked to Christina to make sure we get our reports correct, so we can keep it this way every time we come back each month.
Yeah, so I met with Christina this morning, and if you look at the middle box right here, I was confused last time, but that is the total revenue. That would include your sales tax, and it would include whatever rental fees or whatever we have collected. I know that was one of the questions that you all had, but I need to get clear with that. She's saying that this is an analysis that's for December, so she's giving you month by month so you can see how the sales tax will start adding up. But that was one of the things I had a question about when we were looking at the finances from last time. Then attached to that, I think somebody asked about the bond. I didn't write down who asked me about the bond payments, but I wanted to give you all the breakdown of the bonds, of who, what, and who shot John and all that kind of thing. So if you look at this report, not from me, but this report from our financial person from July 9th, that prepared to talk about, there's our bonds, and you notice at the footnote,
What page?
It's the green sheet.
if you look at page
It's the
7, it talks about at the footnote that 4A receives 12.5% of that. Or whatever we collect the sales tax, they get that. So just that everybody has that. If you turn to the next page on page 8, now you all have several different bonds. I just want you all to know that. But if you look at it, if you look on page 8, the very second bond that says GO bonds, refunding series 2015, so they have the total there, par amount issued was the $5,705,000. 40% of that is the city, and 60% of that is the 4A sales tax. So you have 60% of that. That's the building. If you go on to the next page, And these are outstanding 4A sales tax bonds. You see at the top, that's what it is. Then there's also a bond for the land. Okay? But Jacob, I think it was your question, if I can say that correctly. What's the payments, right? Go to the next page, on page 17. And if you look at I like to have totals first, I know I'm doing. So you look at the bottom when it says 4A, then it says, say 4B, and it says 4A. So 60% of what you see for the bonds, the 215 series we talked about earlier, 60% of that is what the 4A has to pay with your sales tax. And then you skip over to the next one, the series 2017, the 4A pays at 100%, and that is the payment amount. You see the 73, 74. Now, the reason why that one is so new is because your attorney here can help us to remind you that, remember, we refinanced the land because it was tax exempt, and we wanted to be taxed, so it lowered it, but it saved us, I think, a year or two. And so that's why it's 2017. That year tells you what year it was issued.
We locked in on a better interest rate.
Right.
Yes. And so those payments are the 74. So it's all you see.
And it cost us a little more up front, didn't it? And it saved us on the long run.
Yes. So if you go, I had to go across my eyes on work like it used to be. So the year 2032, we're done, but they average about $74,000 a year. And that is 100% all for it. Okay. We only make bond payments twice a year, September and March. I don't know why, but that's when we make them. But, so I wanted you to be able to have that information of when I'm talking about the bond payments, that one that the city shares, that you share with the city, and this one is all by yourself. Okay? So as you're looking at those funding. So I look at that so we can give a better picture, and that this will be the format. Then the other thing I got today that we want to have for you all to pass out is what I'm calling, well, not what I'm calling, what it is it's like, you know, where we are, how much money we got. I mean, that's what you want to know, what I'm making, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Jacob, you was in my ear, I know, I'm hearing you. I sat next to you for a reason. Okay, so this is the 570 4A Corporation. This is your budget. So you see your budget, and that's on your revenue side. You see that $385,000, what we currently budget we think we're gonna get. And so if you look all the way down, at the end, it says percentage of your budget. Okay, so this is like where you're at. So the rentals, you're at about 28%, which is good because we're only in the first quarter, really. And so some things we spent money on, some things we haven't. So you see, that's the revenue side. So that first one, the first page is revenue, because it says right there at the top, revenue. So from what we budgeted, you're at about some things 28%, 23 something, that's zero because it hasn't any activity. Then you turn the page and it talks about your expenditures. You know, what you're doing for personnel, what you're doing, so those kind of things. So we can get one of these every month, and we can attach this kind of thing to your, you know, to your report, and then you have it.
Yeah,
If you care to.
this is good. I like this format.
And this is the same format that the budget is, right?
Yes.
So that's what we're just trying to get, because I think knowledge is power, so that you can be able to see where you are. Your rentals are really, really good. I know one of the things is, Ms. Ball, and maybe conversation later on, but that revenue is really higher up than what we had anticipated in years past, because and it's constant. I do believe she's been paying on time.
Better than
Yes.
Yes.
we did. We have to look like we're making a step here.
Yes, and one of the things that I have tasked Dora with is to us get a calendar so that we know, how our bookings are, what bookings are looking like, what the opening dates are, and things such as that, because, we need to have people booked here. And so it was quite a task for her to do so, to recover that. But we just want to be able to say that, how many days are filled, what's open, as we talk about other people coming in and other events and other kind of things what we got going on, we need to have a calendar for the year so that we can know and talk about not only your dates, but other dates. So, while we're trying to get our minds back together, it's been, people were real derailed with the passing of the councilman. We've been a little off track, but we want to get back on track and focus. And if I can say, I know that Gerard was very passionate about this building and a lot of different things. And so we definitely want to be able to do it. So maybe this is the year that we get it on track. And we've been talking about this, hanging around and
Well, see,
contracts and all
this is
those
the
kind of
type
things.
of information we've needed all along,
Yes, sir, but Jacob stepped on me and wouldn't let me go.
so.
So, okay, Jacob?
You're fine.
All right. So this is, like I said, I can run the report, but if you look at the report, it just says as of January 31st, they're going to the year. So we want it as current as possible. When we get the report, it'll be, from the beginning, October 1 to where we're at right now. So it'll give you all that on where we are. I really just like to look at that percentage budget at the last one to say where you are, you're hitting the mark. So you can see on your revenue side, you can see on your expenditure side, how much you
Yes,
have.
if any adjustment need to be made, we can see where the adjustment need to be done.
The adjustment
Before
you made.
we have to acquire this number and where we can
Yeah,
adjust it.
and so if we're in the, if we're half of the year's already gone, half of our calendar year's already gone, and that revenue stream is only at 20%, then we need to look and see what's going on in that. But it gives you that kind of thing, and it gives all of them in as much detail, they just run it off the budget. So we're gonna run this, Christina's gonna run this for you when she does this, but the thing that got me is that's a total between the sales collections and whatever rental that you had, that's your total. Year-to-date revenues, that's a total. I did that math twice and it didn't add up, but that's why. But we didn't have this information here.
Right.
So this is just an executive overview summary. So you brought in,
That's what made it kind of hard to see how we arrive at this number.
Yes.
Because we didn't know
Right.
exactly.
Right.
so that's
And but this shows,
This is now, now it breaks it down.
Yeah.
We say, okay, we
it
say
makes it
this
understand when we can compare it week to week, or
so
month to month.
month to month, and we can compare it. So that's what we were trying to do. I'll let, I haven't looked at the calendar to send it to me, but that's what I want to do. So Chaz, I'll be quiet and let you go forward.
As long as we don't change it again, because
Yes, they're already.
stay right where we are.
Yes, it's in December. I'll show you, it's right here.
We know that one of the payments is $74,000 a year.
See, these are the 12.
Where is the other payment?
Those are the 2 dates on it.
It is,
We know this is the land that we
it's
refinanced.
60% of that number,
Chad was thinking of the 5th.
of this payment.
Okay, do we know what that is? 60,000,
60% of,
We have to go.
60% of 300,000
Right.
is 180, right?
300,000?
Yep.
We can probably just go down.
Oh, okay, well then.
Yeah, 180.
So that's the only thing we have as far as debt.
yes,
Okay,
those two,
those two.
yes.
Okay,
Of course, yeah, this is Victor Quiroga,
okay.
financial. That's what-
Both the bonds together.
Both bonds together are $250,000. However, and Mr. Gowan and Mr. Edra can support me on this, that we're collecting at the 4B level approximately $1 million a year. So the 4A is collecting half of that,
Half of that.
so we should be at 500,000, and our debt is $250,000.
So you're not in the hole.
We should not be.
And we're going to come out
You got a surplus.
by when we change that around, refinance that, that's gonna bring us, that brought us down on the interest rate. And we should be getting out of this, and it also brought down, of
What
course,
is
the
it
number
by the
of
city?
years.
Oh, 60%.
So it should be coming.
Yeah, 60% is
Start to see daylight.
200, 250?
304, what are you doing, 300,000?
Yeah, 300,000, let's say 300,000
300,000,
times 60%,
60%, that's 180.
okay, plus
Plus
the
the
74.
Okay.
150.
254.
I'm bringing you the actual documents.
Okay, but this budget right here of 385,000, in order to be in line with the other sales tax entities, this should be at 500,000, or
Okay.
approximately.
Right. So if you look at this report, we budgeted to receive, we anticipated to receive for the revenue, 385.
Correct.
That's where that number comes from.
Right.
Because we're doing a conservative number. And so you see, we're at 29% of that 385.
Yep. I know, but that 385, we're starting off on the wrong foot to begin with. That 385 that's super low. That's about $115,000 low.
We didn't raise it up to do it, it's just it's a budget estimate. It was probably a little less than what a little bit less than what we received last year.
I would rather have the budget low and the income high.
But we're gonna be able to, our goal would be for you to track it every month, and you can see, and you're gonna see between the total here, because you see, we have October, November, December. We know today, you received $113,000 in the sales tax. It's separate, so we won't be confused. So we'll have every month of what we're getting for the sales tax. So we can see
That's what, every
if,
3 months?
yes, so we can see if, when we reach the 385, we'll know. The rest will be gravy.
That's what we should be getting quarterly, I mean, at the end of the year.
Annually.
Annually, yeah, because we're at 113, 3 months.
Show me that figure, how much was it?
And that's what our sales tax were last year.
Okay?
For the next coming year, it should be a higher sales tax.
Yes. Then we
Because
can
the
adjust that
the
number.
annexation now will cover a larger area where we'll collect the tax into it. And this should have balance, well, it's already balanced, so it's not really in debt.
Christina,
We're above
no,
water.
Yeah,
She does
well,
This is low.
Yeah.
all right.
Okay,
Like 65,000 though.
has anybody got any, other questions?
All the stuff we need that
Any
done.
other questions, sir?
Chaz, I commend you and Ms. Turner. This is something we can work with.
Yeah, this looks good.
That's great.
I'm listening to you.
So, with that said, Mrs. Turner says, so we know what our debt is, so then for our operating, our concessions, our rentals, is that covering our operating expenses?
And that's something we had talked about today, that's what we're gonna try to figure out what the overall, and that's what the budget, I mean, that's what we're,
Well, the overall budget, if you look at, so the first page on this one
Uh-huh.
is just your budgeted revenue. If you look at your departmental expenditures, that carries your salaries, your supplies, maintenance equipment, all those, materials, utilities, you run for electric bill, that's on the next few pages, and that total, that's a total. I think it's been millions, isn't it?
Now, let's don't confuse M&O income and M&O budget
Right.
with the other budget. Sales tax budget's completely separate.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that should just be for our debt.
$1,000,001.
Huh?
Last page. Total
Yes,
current budget.
Million 105.
1,105,20.
Okay, and that includes bond and,
So that includes, that includes your debt too, because you would have to have that in here. See, you see, capital outlay?
yeah,
But that would actually be subtracted. If you split the budget in two,
Right,
that would not,
we have to,
that would,
otherwise,
yeah.
it's a
And then the
multiple.
next one,
It's
see what says
multiple.
other,
thing.
the 380.
what is that for?
See, it's transferred out, debt service.
That's what's confusing. You have to understand.
What are you transferring out?
Budgets.
Because the debt service is only $250,
I gotta ask about that one.
right?
I gotta ask about that one.
Good, okay.
On a capital outlay that it shows the 84, this is part of the bond issue. On this, they get paid for the sales tax.
Yeah, the capital
So-
outlay, it said 84, but on that,
Therefore, you could not have it in here and add it to the total cost because it's already being paid, you have to pay for it. So you have to be a way to cancel this out on this line here. So,
Is that basis it in?
if you add a line as a credit for that amount, then that will show exactly that this is being paid to another source, but if it need to be carried on this ledger, then you have to have the credit from the other end that is not a debt anymore. It won't be a $1.5 million.
Okay, I'll find out what the number is,
Right, to adjust it.
and we'll have that adjusted for your next report.
That's mixing it in.
Yeah, it give a run date that is, the budget is short,
It's already paid.
it's already been paid by the
Yeah.
side. So,
Is it be something?
otherwise the same day will be paid twice. And if it did, we'd be out of debt by now. Okay. Maybe, I don't know, you might be able to do like a debit and credit there, so debit
Yes.
one side and credit on the other
Yeah,
side,
I'm
so
gonna-
then it clears out.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Helen about that issue. So we can make sure.
That distorts the picture a little bit when you do that.
Well, sometimes if somebody questioning, then you get challenged for it, so you need to know to explain, no, it's not that way.
Okay,